Damn. Okay, now I think I have to actually address my response to the Sony Xperia X fiasco that I did, because I obviously didn't really think through my response as well, because you've seen I was quite in a temper. But what I see now from the comments, a lot of people are saying me I should stay honest and everything and all that, but that was never, and I have to be a little bit more quiet because it's already like 12 p.m. here. My integrity, because a few people are now actually questioning my integrity, because they say now you will stop saying negative stuff and all that. But if that would have ever been the case, I never would have made the video. I never said that I will do this from now, and all I said in my last video was that it was wrong to not approach them first. Not releasing the video was not a thing, and I actually just took the video off from the internet, not because they told me, because they didn't, but because it was in the middle of the night. It was like 1 a.m. or something like that. I wanted to go to bed, and I got bombarded with people insulting me like crazy, and I said, no, I don't want to take that anymore. I will take off the video. Then at least I have my yeah, not the stress anymore. And in the first video, it could have seemed that a few people told me it was too apologetic. And I get that, because I saw this afterwards in editing. But like I said, I wanted to keep it short, and then I don't think things through. That's why I will maybe take a few more minutes to explain this. Because there was, for example, Dr. M, who said it in German and translated like this, was something, say like, okay, so this video now means that from now on we can't expect any objective reviews because you are making your way too dependent on the companies. You are now afraid to tell something. Now, let me tell you one thing now, and this is to all the people who are questioning my integrity now, thinking the reviews won't be the same as they were anymore. I can honestly vouch for myself, and if I'm saying anything but the truth, then I will stop YouTube. This whole thing with Sony will never have any impact on any further reviews, because the great thing is, and this is what I always praised all the brands and actually press agencies for, no one ever said something to me that the video was negative, that the video was too critical or anything. They never did. And now you have to be honest, tell me if that's not true. I am one of the most critical reviewers out there, and I was told hundreds of times, you are way too negative, you are way too picky, you are way too critical. And if you never have thought that on your own about me, then I think you are lying to yourself, because I am. And for example, okay, I don't have an example, but I always criticize everything. For example, the best example would be the HTC 10 review. I got it from a kind of sponsor. A shop gave it to me. And now, what would have been the most logical version? Praising this device like crazy, the HTC 10. But no, I pointed out the display isn't that great, the sound isn't that great, the performance isn't that great, the in-hand feel would have been great. So this is definitely not the way to kind of try to sell a phone. But not the shop told me anything else. He was happy with the video. He saw them both, the English one and the German one. No one ever told me you were too negative or anything like that. And the only time that actually happened, and this is something where I think I proved my integrity, was, for example, Oppo. Back then I didn't like the Find 7, and I thought to myself, I will bash it pretty hard. So what I could do is now not make the review at all and keep things still going with Oppo, or talk good about it and keep things going as well, or I will openly say what I think about it, actually kind of trash the device and risk losing them. And this is exactly what happened. They never contacted me or never replied to me once again, but I did that fully knowingly, and I said that already before I released the video. I absolutely said, I will be negative, and in the case that I lose Oppo, then I lose them. And I never said that Sony won't give me any devices. They didn't say even you should take off the video or anything. They didn't approach me at all. They just asked, could we even see the video? Because before they actually contact me, it was already gone from YouTube. or at least I said to private, they just wanted to know what we're actually talking, because they said a lot of media outlets contacted them and now they knew about the news but didn't even see the video. So I gave them a chance to see the video, but after that I have not seen anything. And the only thing that they said me, maybe next time let us know first that something came up so we can check things what happened, because after all it was a review and it could have been buggy, it could have been not. And a few people, because this is the best example, a few people in the comments told me I have an Xperia X or something like that and theirs is overheating as well. But then there are the people, and this was what the main purpose of the first video was. I wanted to attack those people or address those people who said to me, but look, there is this guy who made a 40-minute video, 1080p, his one didn't overheat. And then there were other comments like saying, oh, now we know you are trolling because there is this other guy who made a 30-minute video, and then there was another guy with also 40 minutes. And for me, it seems like this were maybe two people, one saying 30, one saying 40 minutes. And I was completely discredited. And I totally get, after seeing the video a second and first time or a third time, that now it could look like, okay, he's afraid to lose the company. But look at like this. If I would have thought like that, I wouldn't have released the first video. So even then I risked that a little bit. I didn't think things through, approaching them first. But okay, let me tell you one thing. If you are one of these people like Mr. or Dr. M, who told me that he unsubscribed me because I lost my whole integrity and honesty and all that to him, I can tell you one thing. If you are one of those who think the same, then I'm not just accepting it, then I'm actually happy for that if you leave the channel. Because my whole approach, my whole purpose of YouTube was always, from the first day on, to give you my honest approach on videos. And I've never ever seen someone who, or okay, if you always think someone is lying about something, but always everyone told me, I really like your honesty, I appreciate your open things, calling things out. I could give you one great example, but I won't. But there was a review released today about a device that I complained quite a lot, and it was purely positive, super nice. And I actually thought, I almost wanted to call him out, but I thought, man, this phone is so flawed or not perfect, and yet all I hear is great things. Now, if you can find me a video where I'm acting like this, unless it's maybe a device that I own. For example, on the S7, I weren't super hard. I definitely pointed something out that before you maybe actually approach to the Samsung Galaxy 7, I will make a 3 months later video and then I will complain about the phone. But back when I reviewed it after a month, I was still happy, and I am still happy with it, but I'm not ever saying that it is perfect. And the same goes for the Huawei P9. The same goes for every phone. For example, the Huawei P9 Lite. It doesn't matter, this has nothing to do with that phone. But I am getting even more so angry because, yes, the video, the response sound too apologetic, and I actually, because I didn't think it through, made it sound like I was just excusing myself, trying to maybe look sunny bad, but they don't even know anything of this video. And I'm pretty sure that they won't like this either, but this is not the point. And when I said I will never ever get the review device from Sony, they never told me they won't give me any. I only said in my video that I am too embarrassed to ever even approach them. If things will ever change and I will get the device, nothing will change. Nothing. And if you think that's not true and that from now on my videos, because there was a second comment who said, I always appreciated your honesty, your critical thinking, but because of this video, now I have to take every opinion of yours or every review that's maybe a little bit more positive with a grain of salt. And this was like an arrow in my heart, because integrity for me, or honesty, is for me the highest standard. And if you have seen any of my ramblings, I did call out already so many YouTubers when I thought they were just kind of selling out, and I made more videos than anyone else about YouTubers selling out themselves, and this is why I actually unsubscribed so many channels. Like, I don't want to call out any names now. I already did that in past, and I just want to attack anyone anymore. But I did that, and I knew, because those people actually I was in contact before, and I maybe could have gotten some more contact to get more devices from them. But I risked it, and I thought I'm rather losing out on a few contacts, but I can't be with a person I think is not honest in reviews. And that was the main reason why I back then quit the Droid Effect team, because I thought the leader there, the main guy, not saying any names anymore, just wasn't true to himself, selling out on the review things, and this is something that I never do. Because, for example, I always, if someone asks me something, I always answer 100% with honesty, and I always say these are review units. I never said I bought something on my own. And for example, I said this device was provided from Cyberport, and already now people could say, yeah, it's sponsored. Now he could make it look better. But I think the first review, the HTC 10, proves that it's just simply wrong. Because, first of all, no one said me you have to be kind of leaning towards the positive side. No one ever. And you all know that I'm a very picky person. And even on the HTC 10, of course, I would have had way better chances. And that is actually a very general thing why my channel isn't big. Because just think of it, I'm complaining too much. And this is the reason why my like to dislike ratio isn't the best one. Because there are so many people who have like 5 times more of likes. And what's the reason? Because if you do a review, all those people who bought this device will look at it, and if you say something negative, they get pissed and they dislike the video. But I don't do this for these kind of people that want to feel good about their purchase. I do this for the people who want to spend their hard-earned money on a device that costs 500, 600, 700 euros. And I want them to make the best possible decision, not to ever regret it. And that's why and if that's not the truth, by God, I swear to you, I always kind of lean more towards pointing out the flaws than the good things, because I always think like this. If you have a flagship device, the good things are obvious. The screen is great, the build quality is great, but the things that are bad, that could be a deal breaker for you, which was actually a segment of my reviews a while ago where I called it deal breakers. This is for me the important thing, because you can like 5 things of a phone, but I always hear from certain people, if the camera is crap, I wouldn't buy this. If the feel in hand is crap, I wouldn't buy it. If the display is bad, I wouldn't buy it. And that's why I rather point out the flaws than the good things. Because there are a ton of people already, like 95% of YouTube, who make advertisement videos. But this is the reason why my channel is so small, why I have no sponsors at all. I get nothing for free, nothing. The only things that I get for free is things that I've told you. And this was pretty much just the 1x1 devices, like the keyboard and the, what was it, a Bluetooth speaker. But they got the review they deserved, and nothing more, nothing less. And that's, that makes me angry that people really now start to question my integrity. Because if, I'm not quite sure how long you follow my channel, but if you know me for at least a year or so, and I think you should know me well enough if you've seen the ramblings and all that. I'm pretty much the most open person. I've never seen any YouTuber, the bigger ones or even the smaller ones, being that close, answering all the questions, replying on pretty much even the dumbest question. And then to hear that I make some statements and people now say, okay, he's not objective on him, I don't watch him. That, I don't want people like this on the channel. And that's the reason, for example, so many people told me that my test for the camera was completely wrong, because I didn't think of so many things like measuring the device before and all that. And what I said to them is, I made this video for my subscribers, and they usually never question my opinion. They take it for granted, because when I put in 2 devices here and measure the temperatures afterwards, I expect people to think these devices were code, and not like some others say he was maybe playing for an hour of games, or the camera was already overheating for an hour and then he made this. This wasn't the case. Both devices, and I said it in the comments, were laying for a few hours already untouched, because I was reviewing the HTC 10. And then I didn't really have much to do. The HTC 10 was charging at the moment, and I thought, okay, let's make this video show the issue off. But hearing now that this second video could actually risk more of my integrity than the first one did, because all the people that are commenting now are the ones that I wasn't addressing, because I was addressing all the bullshit people who attacked me, who thought this video was fake, who thought this video was, I was bashing Sony or anything like that. And now all the people are, or at least half of the people are telling me, you did right and you should always point out these things. And now they think I won't, because I'm kind of taking things back. But the way I see it, I didn't really ever call out any flaws, especially like this one. And thinking back, I did that already on the Sony. You can check the video, maybe I will link it. The Sony Xperia Z1. This was the first device that I got back then. I bought it and returned it, and it was overheating. I showed that, and it got, over the course of a few years, it got like 50,000 views, but it didn't get any attention like it did this time. But Sony knew I made that video, or I have to just think of that, and they didn't say, okay, he made this video, we won't give him anything. Maybe they just don't know it, but that's not the point. But the point is that the whole thing, and this is actually the main point, this whole thing with Sony and me taking kind of things back, it was not about that I regret what I did with the video, otherwise I wouldn't have released it. I still wanted to point out the flaw, but I should have thought through. I should have made more thorough tests to find out what exactly was causing the issue, because I didn't really do that. I had the issue like 3 or 4 times before the video. I noticed that it was stuttering, I noticed that it was laggy, and then I thought, okay, let's make this video. But I'm not quite sure how to explain that, but yeah, what I meant, this whole situation with the Sony thing now has nothing to do with my reviews. This is something completely separate, because that's also the reason why I don't do scripted reviews, because if I have a script, you can just read it off. But what I do is, every video that I do, all that I say during this review is just what jumps out of my head. I don't think about it, I just say what my thoughts are about this phone. And that's why I could never replicate one review a second time the same way, because always some slightly differences jump into that. And that's why, for example, if I do like 5 or 6 takes because I completely screwed up one, I'm sometimes missing a few things and sometimes not missing a few things. Sometimes I edit them afterwards in post, but all the serious things I always include. And the last thing I can say, because not making this video any longer, I really appreciate everyone who still stands on my side. And if this will have any negative impact now on my subscribers, them now leaving because they think I lost my integrity, all I can say you, but of course I can't make it a 100% sure thing that you will believe me, or I can't really make you want to believe, but I can honestly say, for me, I will never ever lose my integrity. And the day this would happen, which I can't even think of myself, is the day I would quit reviewing in general, because the main purpose of my reviews was being the one person that gives you an honest opinion with the flaws of the device. And if you maybe noticed over the last few months and actually even years that I got maybe a little bit softer on the devices, that's not the reason that I tried to be good to the brand. I don't even think of the brand in the moment I review, I just think of the device. And the 2 reasons actually why I got softer is, first of all, the devices, and let's be honest, the devices over the last year or 2 years just got better. There is just not that much to complain. And the second reason is, a lot of people just attacked me for being too critical. And I thought, okay, if I point out every single little annoyance that I personally have that no one even cares about, it's maybe worth leaving that out. But if you, for example, in my Q&A ask me, what don't you like about something? And I didn't answer it already in my review. I would tell you this without any problems. But there are some really minor annoyances that I just don't mention because either I just forget them because they are so small, such nitpicky things, or I noticed over the course of the time that people just don't care because I so many times complained about the devices being too sharp on the button because of my pinky and always said, who cares? Who no one except of you uses his phone like this. No one ever holds his pinky like that, and don't annoy us with these useless details. And that's why it could maybe seem like it, but I honestly can't believe that it would look like now that I have lost my integrity, because because integrity for me is the most important standard ever. And I'm 100% sure if I would lie about something, you would definitely see this without any doubt. And that's why I in real life never really lie, because I'm the world's worst liar. Honestly. But of course you could think now he's trying to talk him out himself just to maybe not make things worse, but yeah. Of course, all the people who will comment now on this video will be the ones supporting me anyways, and the ones who think what they thought before or what they think because of the first video, all that. I won't change their mind with this video, but I needed to address that because I was personally so hurt because of the one comment from Dr. M and the second one with the grain of salt, even though he said he didn't really mean it like that way and not trusting me anymore. But if you think you can't trust my reviews anymore, then I'm really happy that you are gone, because I don't want people like these on my channel, because for me that's a two-sided street. I can only like you if you actually trust me, because the moment I see you doubting my opinion, because this is actually something that I see quite a lot of times in reviews. In the comments, someone asks something about the device or something, I answer him, and then I see, because I see all the comments, maybe they don't see that, and then I see those people asking other people in the comments of what they think of the device, and then I actually get pissed because I think, wait, he asked me, I told him my opinion, and now he's asking different people like he's not trusting me. I absolutely can't stand someone who doesn't trust my opinion. Of course, you don't have to be you don't have to have the same opinion, because, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of the HTC 10 subjectively, and I told this in my review. I said it. I just never got warm to it. I personally prefer different phones, but objectively, I see the good things, but I pointed out the bad things. And then there are people in my comparison who tell me, no, I disagree with you. I think this and this is different, and that's something I completely accept. I accept them to have a different opinion, because if everyone would have the same opinion, it would be a boring world. But they accept my opinion and they trust my opinion. But yeah, I'm done with that. Okay, so yeah, maybe this is kind of the end of the channel here. And no, I'm not on cocaine, but I have a little bit of an itchy nose condition that no one can find the solution for. But yeah, I'm very disappointed once again to Dr. M. He's the reason why I made this video, because this personally disappointed me so much that people could think of that like this. And of course now and I replied him 2 times, but of course he won't reply because he's gone. He's unsubbed, and yeah. Bye.